All right, gang. Now, what I want to do today is go through a couple of little things that have come up in conversation. And some of the conversations I've been having with people has been about people not knowing how to do a presentation. So I know I need to do it, but the problem is we don't know how to create it. So what I would like to do today is to give you, now whether you use it for a webinar, whether you use it for a presentation, it could be just on your laptop, doesn't matter. The prep we can do now that we've got a little bit of time up our sleeve and you can play around with it. I'll give you some things that I've learned over the years and some of the things I've learned not to do to make sure that we don't have a thing called death by PowerPoint. Now, there are other types of programs like Resi and stuff like that. They're a little bit more complicated to use, but I find that just keeping with what you know is best. So let's put this into, let's say, a full perspective here. The first thing is, when it comes down to PowerPoint, you got to have a plan. And one of the big problems is most people don't have a plan. They just have an idea, a topic, and they'll just dump it on to a PowerPoint. Now, there's a couple of tricks to the trade when it comes to PowerPoint. Remember, the PowerPoint is for your audience to see, but it's also a nice prompt for what you can segue to. Now, whether it's a sale or whether it's a webinar, and I can assure you in the next 6 months, it will be imperative that you're able to communicate to the masses with those types of things like Zoom and using webinar type scenarios. It's not going to, the new normal will be that. If a lot of people say, oh, that's not what we do. So let me guarantee you, there'll be, the whole world is being geared to learn how to do things online. And some people are going to prefer it after the, let's say the mess that we've had. It was now getting into a little bit of a new routine, and it takes around about 3 to 6 weeks to create routine. And guess what? We've been forced to have a routine. We've been forced to go online. We've been forced to do all this stuff. All the computers and people who are completely untechnified have had to learn it. Now, the ones that are going to be on the front foot, the ones are going to be ones that know how to do it well. So the number one thing that needs to take place is having a plan or a topic or an activity that you actually are clear on what your outcome will be. But if you write notes down, we need to make sure that we have a plan, you have the topic or activity, and also have a reason for doing it. Always start with the end in mind. Always start with the end in mind. And as we've been doing with the front of mind activity, it's the what's next, which is critical. There has to be momentum through any type of presentation. And I don't care whether it's a sale, whether it's a presentation at a conference, there has to be an end in mind and it has to flow. Even after your presentation, what's next? Now, for a webinar, could be for service or video. The great thing about this little activity we're going to do today, this is multi-purpose. And when I say multi-purpose, it's not just for sales. It's not just for, let's say, lead gen. It could actually be for service. I'm going to show you some applications you can use, which are really easy. All you have to do is talk like I'm doing right now, and you can create product and also service products that people could use. For instance, let's just say that you are going to be doing training. Like we do. Let's say you're a coach. Let's say you want to make sure that you show people how to do things without you around. Well, you can actually do this on a PowerPoint and have you doing things in videos and so forth. And you can have these tools. For instance, if you're let's say a coach for golf. Well, you can show somebody how to do something, and then you can do a little video and send it to them afterwards, so they got a little bit more to watch. Now, with Niagara, you know, that you can show them how to do things on a little video and maybe some tips that they can have after you've actually been and done your treatment. And with Presidos as well, you've also got those sorts of things as well, which does become really, really interesting because you'll be able to show them a class, and then you have all those, you know, 150 types of moves you could use on the mat and just do one little one. And all of a sudden, it actually creates lots of things that you can keep for later. It's not just, here's a PowerPoint, boom. I have thousands of them and I always wondered what I was going to do with them. Now we started to repurpose them, and then you use some videos and so forth and just use them at different conferences and cut and paste them. They become incredibly valuable. So if that's the case, the next thing I want to make sure that we understand is some of the skills you need to have. In a PowerPoint, you can have a blank. My recommendation, as you saw at the beginning, is have a branded template. Now, the branded template is just having your colors. These are our colors for ITC and NSA. We put our logos on the front, so it's actually branded. Now, for many, many years, I used to do just the PowerPoints and using the templates in the back. But if you don't have to be as let's say, in your face as this, if you look at the PowerPoint that I'm using right now, you'll just see there's no logos. They've just got the colors. And there's different versions of it, but that's the thing. I had Jack Lee do it for me, and he just creates the header. He also then creates the footer, and then just the tiles to use. He also creates a fonting, and what you'll find is that there's a certain font that we use all the time, so it becomes branded. These are really important little things that I never did in my younger days because I didn't know about them. So what you do, if you just look at this PowerPoint here, that's a font, and this is called, I use either Calibri or I use a thing called Open Sans. Now, I didn't know what they were. They're called fonts. I'm going to talk about them a little bit later. The next thing is once you've actually got your branded, let's say your first tile, and then you have your second tile. Now, as you can see, the first tile has just got your picture or your branding, and then the rest of it is what all you do is you just type in your stuff. Now that is a big deal because a lot of people don't do this, and all of a sudden they have all these different types of presentations that are not branded. But be careful, don't have your logo splashed on everything. On the front tile, sure, but not on everything. People have a logo in the corner. No one wants to see the logo. Make sure your branding has a color which depicts you. You know, I'm always on brand in dress and so forth. There's a little bit splash of purple, blue, or cerise on what I wear. The next thing I'd like you to make sure you're really comfortable with is choose your text. I see lots of PowerPoints with tons of different texts, and sometimes that's a really nice design, a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Now, there are things called fonts. In your computer, you'll have all of these different types of fonts. Arial, which is quite basic. Then you have all of these other things, and it shows you what they look like. Be careful when you pick your font, because if the font is difficult to read, it looks very fancy, but it might be difficult to read. So, well, what was that? And let me just make sure you write this down. Less is best. A sea of text, no one's going to be inspired by it, and it's also quite difficult to actually engage. You want to have a few pictures, a couple of things that show as a picture of text like I've just done here. One piece of wording, that's the first thing you see. You see the girl, it's going to be on the computer, which will be a PowerPoint. You just get the pictures and all accordingly. And then at the bottom there, as you can see, that is what we're talking about. Choose your text and your fonts. So when this pops up, I don't have to read this. I just know what to say because I've done my practice, but it's actually done beforehand. Now you'll see as I change every time I change the PowerPoint, what you're going to see, I use a thing called a fade. It just fades across. I'm going to show you how to do those transitions in a moment, and it's really, really easy. So back to the first one, branding. What's your colors? Put your logo at the front. Keep it simple, just like the first tile. That's what we're going to do. There's the Sales Authority Club icon. A little bit to get started. There's a picture. I'm going to show how that works. Just a few bullets on the side. And now we've just spoken about your template. And by the way, you can create it yourself. I always believe I just get an expert to do things. They always come back half the time. It costs a few bucks, but I use this nearly every day of my life. It's a great investment. And the text. Pick something you like. Sometimes a designer will do that for you. But if you're a designer, I know some of you are, just do your own. Now, let's go into what we do a lot of at the SAC. Where can you use these PowerPoints? Well, I can assure you in the next few years, this is going to be the very, very easy thing to do. But right now, it's not. Going through your sale and qualification, you've got to have tools. You'll have pieces of paper with you. And when you do your PowerPoint, you can certainly do a presentation with tools next to you, but you've got to get permission. We're going to go through the sales pivot in the SAC over the next month or so. I'm going to show you how all of the things have changed, and we're just pivoting around. And some of you will be about 5%, some will be about 30, 40% of new skills you need to do, but still use the same skill sets. But some of the skill sets we'll need to go back to school with. If you're doing anything online, anything, we've got to master it. So let's put it into a sales context now. When it comes down to qualification, it's 80 to 90% of a sale. So we've got to make sure we do a good job in qualifying. But remember, when we're having a talking head, just in a little corner there, that ain't going to cut it. You've got to make sure that you stop sharing your screen, come back and talk to the camera and speak to the person. And if you have to go back to sharing your screen, that's fine. So all you'll do is to go back to the screen. It's really simple. That's called an on-off the screen modality. Me in the top right-hand corner is fine when I want you to look at the screen. But when I finish looking at the screen, you've got to come off the screen and talk to the person or talk to your audience. It could be 300. It could be 1. So it's on and off. It's not off the computer, it's just off the PowerPoint. So as you go into the next stage here, so, you know, it's very simple to do on Zoom where you just share the screen again and you just look at the camera. Your explanation, your demonstration, your proofing has to be done incredibly well on a PowerPoint if you're going to do it online or whatever, Prezi or whatever the case may be. Now, this means that the imagery and the text cannot be too over the top. I'm going to show you how to do that. And then when we do the sales training, we'll actually get you to do a lot of it. You need to get something created, which is a milestone. In other words, what happens once you purchase my product? This is what the first stage is, second stage, third stage. And then we go on the journey to make sure it's tailored. And then you have a price presentation. Now, all these types of things can be done on PowerPoint. Now, I'm not an advocate of just PowerPoint. If you've got something else you like to use, terrific. But if you use your PowerPoint, don't have death by PowerPoint. It comes up so regularly, and usually it's very difficult and uninteresting to watch. So that's just a sales cycle. Now, there's lots of other things that you can use. I'm going to have a little bit of a play around with some things now. I'm going to show you off screen on my let's say the computer, of some things you can use to create your little videos, to create your little presentations you can send to people. So I'm going to come out of screen share now, and I'm going to share my screen, not the PowerPoint screen, but share my screen. So I'm just going to close the PowerPoint. So we'll get out of full presentation. So you'll see my whole screen in a moment. And I'm going to move a few things around so you can see it. Okay, here we go. So you'll see my screen now. And I'm actually going to get rid of the PowerPoint. Woof, there she goes. So what I'm now going to do, we don't want to end the meeting. Put that down there. Cancel that. You'll see there's a portable hard drive there. There's the PowerPoint I'm actually using. And there's a example of a PDF that I'm going to show you how to use. I'm going to open up this here. This is going to open up a portable hard drive where what I do is I actually put all of my videos in because they are quite big. Now, some of you would have seen Jamie's video that we did the other day. This is was nutrition tips. I'll just open it up and the finished product. All I did was a bit of editing and so forth and all that sort of jazz. Now, the reason I'm showing you this, and I'm going to open up the Screenflow file, is I'm just going to show you where you can use a PowerPoint. Now, right now, this is the Screenflow. And what you can do is you have all of the things in the Screenflow, and you can either put pictures in, there's the audio, there's a picture, and so forth. And that was the one we did with Jamie, where I was just talking. Now, there are other Screenflows that we have here, you'll see. And we have stacks of bits and pieces here. So we've got interviews. These are all videos and so forth that we've done. And we then have a whole lot of, let's say, modules. Here we go. Let's put one that you all would have seen. There we go. Now, we don't want to, we're going to scrub through this. So as we go through the video, let's turn the sound off. You're going to find that this is me in module 2. And you'll see that in the video, I go on and off screen. As we get into the modules, there's the PowerPoint. Make that a little bit smaller so you can see it. And that's a script. So as we go through that presentation, I don't want my head up there. So that's just a PowerPoint that to teach some stuff. This is where all the editing was done. I'm not going to suggest you do this at this point of time, but this is how you use the PowerPoint. As you can see, you can't see anything move when I did the editing. I just took some stuff out. But down here is the PowerPoint. It's not very long, as you can see. It only goes for around about 16 minutes. But I'm using that PowerPoint to present with. And as we go through the presentation, there's the PowerPoint, and it'll go back. So you can talk in the back here, and you see that my head doesn't pop up very often. In this presentation, it's just the PowerPoint. So you can actually talk without even your head being around. This is how you can use, we don't want to save that. This is how you can use your PowerPoints to do a walkie-talkie presentation. So as I said, this is the same thing, but it's a lot longer because this is where we did all the editing and different modules and all that sort of jazz. As you can see, that's just a PowerPoint. And if I unmute it, brain, so location could be prestige. So all of a sudden, you've now got something that uses your PowerPoint. You just use Screenflow, and I'll show you how to use Screenflow later. So this is another way of using your PowerPoint. Boom. Okay. As you can see, there's a fair few in there, but there's lots of things that we did just the other day when we did the a presentation for everybody in the SAC. And last week when we did this is what we did here, and I just recorded it. This is when we have Katie did a presentation. So you can use your PowerPoint in the back, and you can use your PowerPoint in the front. This thing that I'm using right now is a thing called, there it is, it's called Screenflow. So you can just put your Screenflow on. I'm going to show you, record. What it's going to do is just going to record my screen. That's all it's doing. Now what I'm going to do is go into full PowerPoint. So it'll have my head and it's got my PowerPoint there, and I'll just be chitter-chattering away. And guess what? We're done. So I'm just going to stop it up there in the corner there. Get out of my full screen. Let's get rid of that. There we go. All right, I'm going to share my screen again so you can see what we did. Good. So all we just did there, there's a recording of what I just recorded. You see us in the corner? There's the screen. Now you can move all this around, obviously. This is on another camera I have. So you can see that's the full PowerPoint. It just records the screen. We're not going to keep that. We'll throw it away. All right. So as you can see, there's lots of things you can do with the PowerPoint. You don't actually have to see your head. When I first started doing these things on PowerPoint and just putting it on to a video, I just used Screenflow, just chatted away behind it, just clicked away, and it was done. It doesn't take much. And if you make a mistake, you just keep talking and snip it out. It's very, very easy. But that's another way where you can use a PowerPoint. All right, let's go back to the PowerPoint presentation, and I'll share my screen again. We'll go into full screen. Camtasia is exactly the same as Screenflow. A lot of people like to use it on a PC. The next thing is pictures. Where do you find pictures? Well, if you like to take these websites down, unsplash.com, you get free pictures. They're free. You can use them any way you like. You just have to register with unsplash.com, and they're free pictures. Or you can use a library. I use a library. I'm just going to unshare my screen now. Get out of my full PowerPoint. And I'm going to show you what I do for the pictures. It's really easy. As I said, nothing I do is difficult. All right, I'm just going to share the screen and you're going to see what I'll do. So what I'll do now is I'll just go into my Chrome. Right. I'm going to type in a word called iStock. I'm a member. I pay a small subscription to iStock. I think it costs me $40 a month. And let's say I'd like to have, there's some of the pictures I got for today. Let's say eyes. Spell it right. So I got millions of pictures of eyes. And let's see how many they got. They got 26,000 of them. So you just go around and say, oh, you know, that's a pretty good one. I just wanted one eye. You just click that button. What size do I want? I always get large, so I get a good res, click the button and I download it. And that's my picture. Now, why do I do that? Well, the reason being is if you don't do that, what's going to happen is if you go and take a picture off the internet and it's owned by, let's say, gettyimage.com, they have little spiders finding their pictures and they check to see if that business or person bought it. And then if you haven't, they send you a $300 to $700 invoice. But they don't send it to you directly. They send it through their debt collection agency. Yeah, many years ago, I actually had someone do a very old website for us, and he very lazily got a little tiny picture to put in the bottom there, and he took it off Google. Invoice, I think it was $1,200. Now we got let off because we had an account with iStock, and they just reduced it to, I think, $200. It's an expensive exercise. So that's why I suggest if you're going to use pictures, don't take them from the internet. It's tempting. Now, if you're just going to do something like this, and it's not going to be put out to the big wide world, great. But if you're going to stick any pictures anywhere else, be very careful. And also have a photographer. Now, photographers, it's a really good idea to get a great photograph of yourself for your PowerPoints, because your PowerPoints will come alive when they have pictures about you there. Let me give you an example. I'm going to go unshare my screen. I'm just going to go back to my screen and we'll get rid of this. Now, let me just show you something here. I'm just going to type in impact here in the corner. And what it'll do, it'll be impact the sack. These are some pictures we had of a professional photographer take for us. So what they do is they go around the room and they take some photographs of you and your people, and it becomes, there's some of our friends. And then they'll take some photographs of you doing your thing. This is one that I did, had a photographer while I was presenting in quite a large group with Paul Wright, the great man. So these are much more interesting to put into your PowerPoint than just stock images, especially if you're doing websites and stuff. Try to get some people of photographs of yourself are doing things, and they become more alive. So this is one I was at the conference, and I was presenting there. So much better to put those sorts of pictures in there, see everyone laughing and carrying on, than just having stock images. Makes a big difference to your PowerPoint. Okay, so let's go back into my full screen. All right. Okay, now the next thing is where not to find pictures. On Google. Boom, boom. No way, Jose. You want to go and get your pictures, you're going to say, oh, that's a cracker. You just put it in there, you present it to the world or whatever the case may be, or goes on the internet by some mistake or whatever. You do a video and it goes out into YouTube. Someone goes, what's that? I wonder if Michelle or Lloyd or Nigel have purchased that. You're gone. So don't get your pictures from Google unless you pay for them. Now your videos are such like it's really important to. I'm going to show you how to utilize a PowerPoint presentation now, and I want to make sure that we're going to have a little bit of a play. So I'll get you to open your PowerPoint presentations now. We're going to have a bit of a play with a blank one, please. So go to your PowerPoint and open up a blank PowerPoint. So we'll do it together. Okay. So what we're going to do is have a bit of a look at making sure you're on your screen. So I'll get you just to share your screen to make sure that we've got your PowerPoint up on your shared screen. So go down the bottom there, it said share screen, and just share that screen, your screen there. So share your screen. Turn on your video so I can see it. I won't be able to see you if you're sharing your screen. So go to your PowerPoint, just turn your PowerPoint in, and then that's the way. Good on you, Lloyd. Good. So that's perfect. So I'll be able to see the different screens there. Good. All right. So click just a blank screen. I'm going to talk you through mine. All right. I'm going to show you mine, so I want to make sure you're going to do this as we go. So in the background, you'll have yours going. So what you're going to do now is you're going to have a blank background. This is usually the slide that you start with. You're going to put your title in there. So this will be test title. All right. Now, the other thing here is you want to say, all right, well, what's my font going to be? So you go up here and say, what font? And this is called a font, Calibri Light. I don't like that one, so I would just change that, and I would make it just normal Calibri. Whatever you're going to put on your front slide is what you'll then do. Then you're just going to do up the top there and do insert slide. Now, the next slide's going to look different. See, the slide has a title, and the one underneath there is different. That's going to be where you're going to put all your bits and pieces. Over here now, you've got what you're going to put on each top of your slide. So you will type in whatever goes there, and then you would put in your bullets or whatever it may be. It could be text, it could be anything. So what I normally do is I usually go down to duplicate slide, and then I just keep inserting a new slide. I like to have them ready to rock and roll so I know how many I'm going to do. This is what I do. And what I then do is I'll then start typing in what needs to go in. So that's how you would change the different type of font at the top. Now you can do anything you like with this. This is always centered. I would suggest you always go up to the top there and put everything in the middle. So this is the test page number 1. And then if I'm then going to have a set heading. Now I usually have 44 as the, I will just change that. I usually have, I make my title, it's either bold. Sometimes you can change it in PowerPoint, just have uppercase. Uppercase doesn't do spell check. So if you're going to want to have some spell check, which I need all the time, I have it in lowercase. If I want to change it afterwards, I will then change it afterwards. If you want to change it uppercase, just there. That's where that A there is. See in the corner there? Okay. So if we now put it into full perspective, I go in the bottom, I can type text. Now let's just say I want a picture. Well, you just might move that around a little bit. Might not need all that text box. I want a picture. Now the pictures are easy to get. So you can do it. You can actually use your pictures and say insert picture. I find that's a little bit tedious. So what I just do is I open up my pictures, just put iStock. There's my pictures. There's all my pickies. I said, oh, these are the ones I bought, so I can keep them, use them for 100 years. Let's just say, are you ready? So this is what you do, watch. This is so easy to do. There's your PowerPoint, there's my picture. Watch, I want to use that are you ready picture. Get rid of that little head there. Here we go, watch. Picture. When you're online, guess what happens? The PowerPoint actually says, would you like me to create a fancier slide for you on the right-hand side under design ideas? I sometimes use those because they're better than mine. So you can move that picture around anywhere you like. What I usually do is always put a border around. See over here in the corner? I'll go up there and put a border around it, an outline. I always put a black outline, makes it a little bit crisper. You can actually be a little bit adventurous if you like. It doesn't always be boring. You can make the picture really big. You might want to put it, and by the way, with PowerPoint, it will center it for you. See those little arrows? Now it's in the center. Now if I want to put it to the back, you go, right, I want to have my page there. I'll change the text, make that white. Might move that up a little bit. Okay, not a good color. Change the color to maybe green, even worse. Go to the template here. Let's go a little pink, that usually wins. All right, looks a bit better. Or you could actually go a little bit more left field and say, oh, I'll put a fill there. So now we don't need to have the guy's head. We'll just move that up a little bit. And then we're good to go. That's how you get a picture in there. Now you can always get rid of that picture and say that looked dodgy. I'd much prefer to have this picture. Drag that one over. Boom. See, it's not that difficult, is it? Now, say, well, that looks pretty nifty, having it big, and or gee, I like that one, and then you can just move the text around a little bit for you as well. You can write something in here too, if you wanted to. So the PowerPoint is very clever, as you can see. Actually, in the design, a little design box. If you click that box, it'll actually make those designs for you if you want them. You don't have to use that. So that's how you use a picture. So what I'd like you to do now is I'd just like you to just write in a title on the front page, have a second page, insert a page, new slide. You might just type in page 2. Go up to here and center it. If you like that font, or if you don't like that font, change it. Put it to something there like, well, you might like a straightforward Arial. A lot of people use Arial. It's very old school. That might be your font. And just, so you might do A, B, C, D. Now, if you have a picture on your computer anywhere, why don't you just drag that picture in there? So you can actually just type in JPEG. I'll pick up any picture from anywhere in your computer. There's one that says food. I'll just drag that in there. There's food. Make it a bit smaller. All right. I'll make that a bit bigger. There you go. Now I might even say, well, let's be a little bit jazzy. Let's go to the design template, see if it looks a lot better. Oh my goodness, doesn't that look so much nicer? Now the design template made it bigger. You can make that bigger if you want to as well by making the fonts larger. Oh, I don't like that in the corner. I'll just make it in the center, play around with it. So what I'd like you now to do, spend 5 minutes having a play with just having a title and then putting a picture in there and just playing around with the fonts. So open up a new PowerPoint, put test title or whatever you want to do. Put anything you like. You put a picture there later, but let's not go into that at this point of time. Go to the next slide, and the way you'll do that is to say insert slide, new slide. It'll come up that way. So you're going to put, let's just say for the argument's sake, this is a test page 1. I would suggest making sure that your font's up the top there. If you like Arial, then you just type in Arial. I'll show you to do the master later, but that's a little bit tricky. Push the center. Do A, B, C, D, E, whatever you like to do. The B if they're supposed to be B. There you go. And then find a little picture. How do you find a picture? That's pretty easy to find a picture. Just go up to your find. Just type JPEG. You'll get any type of picture. I stop. Drag that picture into your PowerPoint. If you want to get a little bit fancy, go into the corner there and say, right, gee, I like that one with a corner with that. Oh, that's A, B, and C. You can just move that around a little bit bigger. There you go. So that made it nice and fancy. So I'll get you to have a bit of a play with that now. It's no hurry. Just want to get just how to play with some of the simple functions. So you've got your title page, you've got your font, found a picture that you like, just drag it in there. And the way to find a picture, by the way, you can just go to any of your files if you like it and just drag it in there and it's all good to go. If you don't want to do a drag, you can just insert picture, just go to pictures from files, then it'll go into your computer and say, where are some pictures? You just say, oh, it's in my desktop or it's in my Dropbox. If you want to use that function. So it usually says insert here, not at the top, here, insert. Then it says pictures, little mountaintops from a file or from your browser. That off the browser means on the Google, so be careful. Online pictures, where you could go to that little thing I told you earlier. So again, type in a title, pick your font that you like, always go to home. They'll always go back to your fonts when you actually want to run something in. You type in, just have a look at what it looks like. It tells you that's what it looks like. Oh, by the way, if it has a little cloud there, that means it hasn't been downloaded from the cloud. If you like that font, you can just click it and it downloads. They're all free. Okay, so we've got a title. You'll find a picture, either in, click insert, then go to picture. There's all my iStocks. When I actually look for things, I go to icons so I can see what the picture looks like. So, because I have an iStock, I just stick them in there. As you can see, there's all the pictures. If I like a picture, you click the picture and then click insert. And the picture will be there. I find it a little easier. I'll just go to iStock. I'll find one, as I showed you before. I like that one. I just drag it over. And then it stays there. And then if the little widget at the side there likes that one, it's now got 2 pictures in there. You see? Really easy to do. Oh, that went a bit smaller, so I might have to make that a bit smaller or bigger. There we go. So I want you to have a page 1 and page 2. The page 2 is exactly the same. You can type in any text you want to do there. But remember, when you go to page 2, you'll firstly do your what the title is called. Test page 2. Put it in the middle. Go to your text. And by the way, if there's no text underneath there, all you have to do is double click it and then text box comes up. You do your A, B, C, D, like we did earlier. As I said, you type whatever you like there. And you say, all right, time for a picky. Let's say we got the this one here. Oh, this is an old one of me, what we did the other day. I like that picture there. Center it up. You might want to do some more text there. Up to you. So all I'd like to see you guys have is your title. Before you drag your pictures, make sure you type in what the title will be. Oops. Any type of text you want. You make the text box bigger or smaller. That doesn't mean you always have to have a picture, but it's better to have something that's visual. Go up to your Find file or go into Insert. I'm going to insert a picky. What I do is I just go up to Find File. I know my file's names. I have by stock, it's called, because I've already downloaded most of those. I would double click that, have it on icons, then I drag it in. Okay, so keep going. Stop my screen. I'll just keep it up for you to see what I did. So have a bit of a play with your screen. As I said, it's not a race. And you can't muck it up because we're going to delete it anyway. But if you can do a presentation, a sale, you want to type in some text to remind you what to say, or a picture to show them things, really easy. It's a really great tool to be able to utilize for lots of different things. And if you want to do a video, you can do a video of the PowerPoint without even your head there. So keep going. Give you another few more minutes to have a go. If you've got any questions, come online, share your screen, and I can talk you through. See how you're traveling there. All right. So we can always make that bigger and smaller. Here's my iStock, just move it around. There you go. Hi, Michelle, how you going? So work away.
Hello.
See how you're talking. Hey, Lloyd, why don't you put up on screen what you've done so far? Let's have a bo peep at it, mate. So share your screen. I'll stop sharing mine. Let's have a look at what we've got to so far. Have a sip of my cuppa. Let's have a bo peep. So done you just a first page, just title. Go in there and have a bit of a muck around, center a few things and so on. Have any questions? Just give me a wave. I'll unmute you and we can answer it. And if you've got a question, I guarantee you, everyone else might have the same question, but didn't want to ask it. So this is why we spent some good fun time to do this now. As I said, there's lots we can do today, but I want to just get you used to using some stuff that's easy to do.
How do you get to page 2?
Okay, so share your screen with me. Okay, terrific. All right, so all you need to do is double click that.
Double click this?
Yep.
Is that right?
Just click that, that's it. Now you got your page 2. There you go.
Oh, where's page 2? I don't see page 2.
That's page 2.
Where's page 2? I can only see what I'm just looking at, which is page 1.
So you've got your title page at the top, yeah?
Yeah.
Then you got your second page, that's page 2.
Where's my do I just scroll down? Where's my second page?
Can you see your title page on the left-hand side in your thumbnails?
Oh, I see. So that's my page 1. So now I can start afresh over here.
Yeah, so all of those other ones are correct. Yeah.
Ah, I see. Okay, so I can just start afresh with something new here because that's page 1. Okay, I gotcha. Thank you.
Perfect. There you go. Easy peasy. And by the way, that was a nice picture. Look at that. Look what the little widget did for you on your page 2 there, Michelle.
What was that?
Go to the see the top one there, your page 2 that's come through. Is actually the widget actually created something pretty nifty for you.
Yeah, I know. I liked that, so that's why I took it. I can't get out of this big screen now. Oh my gosh.
So just go out of your share screen and keep moving things around. That'd be great.
I'm trying to do something, but I don't know what it is. You cannot start share screen.
All right. So I'll get you to unshare your screen, Michelle. All right. So that's you, Lloyd. Is that you, Lloyd? That's on now. Got your share screen.
Sec. Give me 1 sec.
There you go. Terrific.
Is the screen shared?
I've got yours there. Proceedos, is that right?
Yeah. Depends what you're looking at. So. Is that sharing, Steve?
So what's your first style? What's your title?
It
I can definitely see Lloyd's. I can't see anything else.
So Michelle, have you unshared your screen?
Well, I every time I go into there's a share screens there, right? Hang on. I'm viewing Lloyd's Hill's screen.
I'm sure. So we got the solo warrior now. Is that right, Lloyd?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, I can't see anything else but Lloyd's. Is that right?
That's what we want to see. So
okay.
Good. Love it. So Lloyd, now you've got, if you go to your very first screen, your title page, just click that one, double click that. Yeah, so all you would do is you'd write in whatever the title is, Proceedos, whatever it may be, and you do all your pictures and stuff. That will be what you would see here. Now, you do whatever you like there.
Yeah.
So your next page.
Yeah, this one.
So it looks like you've had a bit of design work done there. So you probably click that top right-hand corner, says design ideas.
That's where I got it from.
Yeah, very good. That looks terrific, doesn't it, eh?
I've just been mucking around.
And then you even went to the second one and started moving that around. So what you can do here is you've got introduction. You can move the title up a bit more. You can get rid of, and by the way, see how those bullets are separated a little bit? What I'll get you to do is just click the top there and go up to, see the arrows? So see under say shape and formats on the far right-hand side, it's got some little arrows with some lines. Yes.
Yes.
Click that.
Yep.
Just click it, open the drop box.
Yes.
So
it's opened.
So what it will allow you to do is to make those spaces bigger or smaller. Okay?
Yep. I made them.
Terrific. There you go.
I made them bigger. Yeah. Okay.
Very good. You've done a third one there. You found out you've stuck in your photographs there. I wonder what the widget will do for that tile. So why don't you click the top right-hand corner, see what that comes up like.
Yeah, it came up with nothing before I tried.
What I'll get you to do is just cut one of the photos out. But don't delete it, just cut it. Just
okay.
Command X or just cut. Just one. Now click the top up there.
It's probably too big.
No, it's sometimes it gets a bit temperamental, but you've got that down pat. That's terrific. All right, well, you've learned how to do that very quickly. Goodness gracious. Micheline, let's have a bo peep and see how you've gone with your title and getting a picture in there and mucking around with your fonts.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I'm having a technical nightmare.
That's all right. This is what training's about. That's all good.
I'm on an Apple Mac.
Yeah, great. So
I've never used one before.
Share your screen with me, please. Just go down the
Okay.
bottom, click the little button, share screen.
Okay, I've never been on Apple before. This is the first time.
Oh, wow. What an experience.
Yeah, and I just downloaded Zoom while you were talking, and I just downloaded PowerPoint, which I haven't used in years. And so I feel like I'm in a new country doing new things. So I haven't done much. I'm still, hang on, let me just share the screen. What am I sharing? Gosh.
You downloaded PowerPoint and Zoom as we're doing this. My goodness, you're a multitasking monster.
I don't know what I'm doing, but here's my PowerPoint. I'm going into it. Okay.
Very good. Okay, terrific.
And I started putting something like spring into life.
Lovely. Okay. So now I'll go get you now to go up to insert.
Yep.
So what you're going to do now is you're going to add a page. So just go back to home.
Yep.
Oh, you got 2 pages there. So now you go to the second page. Now there's your second page. Now just right at the top on the where it says title, just say second page, or just type second page or whatever you like. That's it.
Yep.
That's it. So that's now you've got now I'd like you now just to, where it says the text, just put A, B, C, D, E. And then every time we do A, no, so before you do the B, hang on, go back, delete. Yeah. Now push return on your keyboard.
Okay.
Now put B, click. Yep. Okay, terrific. That's all we're going to play with today. Just click one more time down, return. Okay,
Yep.
great. All right, now what I'll get you now to do is go up to insert on just next to home. Click it again. Terrific. Now see where it says picture little mountain ranges?
Yeah.
Just click the little arrow down.
Yep.
So what will happen is it will say pick from files.
Okay.
And what it'll do is find a picture there, and all you do is click it and it'll actually arrive in your PowerPoint.
Okay. Can you see what's happened on my screen? I've got all these.
So it's got on your desktop. So you'll just find out, do you know where, do you have a picture on your,
No, this is my son's desktop. So
it's your mum's?
my son's.
Oh, righto.
I might, yeah, I don't know what, oh, maybe he's got something on Cupco or something. I don't know. Oh,
Tell you what to do. Where's the search bar up the top right hand corner, on the right side.
yeah.
See, search with a little circle. Not the top one. Just the one in where you are now.
Yep.
Just type in
Oh,
dot.
I've got to close this other thing though. I'll just cancel that.
So
And
so if you go up to your computer and just type in JPEG, JEPG, you'll find a picture, and it will just download it.
okay. JPEG. Enter.
Yep. Can't find it, so just put JPG instead. .jpg.
JPEG.jpg.
No, just cancel that out
Yep.
and just put .jpg.
JPG.
Yeah.
Okay, and enter.
It hasn't got any pictures. All right. Well, let me think now.
What about photo browser or online pictures?
Okay, that'll try that.
That's him.
Okay.
Okay, I've picked it.
Okay, so all you have to do is click that.
Yep.
Double click it.
Oh,
And that should arrive in your computer, on your PowerPoint.
no, it's not doing that.
Let's go into online pictures now. Type in a picture. Let's say happy. There you go. Click aeroplane or whatever you like.
Yeah, I picked just one.
There you go. Pick the bear.
Okay.
Click it.
Yep.
Insert. Just click the insert. Down the bottom. Down the bottom.
I can't see it. You know why? Because the picture of, oh, here, I'm just moving you. I couldn't see it. So insert. Yeah, I couldn't see it because our image was on top of it.
There you go. No worries.
Okay. And I'll just move our image back.
There you go. Now you got your little bear.
Oh, yeah.
How good's that? All right, now go back to home.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, now you're just going to put, so now what you're now going to do is just go back to your second page.
Sorry, yep.
Yep, great. I'll click the arrow. Where the bear is, I'll just get rid of the cross on the top right-hand corner, on the bottom right-hand corner where it says online pictures. You got a little cross there. Just click that cross to just it'll stop.
Just let me see.
There you go. It's above that. It says online pictures. Just click the cross there. That's just going to get rid of all that.
Yep.
That's it.
What's happening is our image is going on top of my desktop and I can't see these.
All
okay.
Right. So I'll get you now just to click the bear.
Okay. I'll just have to move us out of the way. Okay, the bear, double click.
No, one click, that'll do.
Oh, one click. Okay.
All right, let's have a look now. All right, you haven't got your, oh, here we go. All right, now I'll just get you to click home again. All right. Now, for whatever reason, it's not letting us go into doing it automatically for you like Lloyd's, but you can still, so what I'll get you now to do is where it says where you got your little bear, just move the bear around a little bit so it gets, you can just move it anywhere on the screen. Terrific, that's great. Now, if you want to go, click the bear again and see all those little squares around the bear?
Yeah.
If you just hold your cursor down, you can actually make the bear bigger.
Oh, okay.
So you go to the corner where the little corner is and hold your cursor down and it'll drag it. That's it. Now drag it. That's it. You'll make it bigger.
All right.
Perfect.
Yep. I've done some of those tools. Yep.
Terrific. Well, they're done.
Okay.
We now know how to do a front page, and you know now how to do your text, and now you know how to get your picture in there. That's really great.
Right. And if I want to insert a video.
Now I'm going to do that just before we wrap up today.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
That's good. All right, I'll get you to stop sharing your screen.
Okay.
Terrific.
Do I need to mute myself?
That's I can do it for you. There you go. All right, Nige. Yeah, did you have a go or are you just watching, having a beer?
You couldn't hear that. That was good. I had to go here then, so you couldn't hear me, so that was good. All right, you ready?
Yeah, that's great. Just share your screen.
All right, can you see it?
Oh, I can see it. Yeah. Oh, look at that. That's great.
All right. And just for everybody's sake, this was the last one I just did.
Oh, look at you.
Look at that.
You've done this before. Look at that.
Look at you.
That's great, you. Well done.
Yeah, and I put my video over on there as well. But
You've already done it. Oh, God. You've done the video. You've jumped the gun.
So that's my little video for you.
Yes. Oh, you nailed it.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. I was just saying to Melody, this times that we're in now, it's amazing. I've never allowed myself to learn shit before, but this is good.
Oh, gee.
It's funny stuff.
Well done, mate. Well, gee whiz, I know you don't like the computer much, but gee whiz, you nailed it.
It's good. I mean, both. I think all of us Niagarans on the call, I think we're all pretty new to this stuff. So salespeople tend to think that all we need to do is make the sale, but clearly we need to do more these days.
Well, my friend, I'm just going left field here because it's a little something new, but it's not hard to do, and that's why I'm trying to get you to. We just had a little practical fun. It's called role play, but fun time as well. So it's just having a bit of a muck around. We're going to do a video then. I'll let everyone go, but I'll have a bit of a play with that. Is that all right, guys?
Good work.
Well done. Nailed it. All right. Thanks, mate. Okie dokie. How good are you? Are you learning fast? All right. Enjoying this? All give me a thumbs up. You all good? You having fun? Yeah, great. Nice colors there, Michelle. On brand. Oh, dearie me. Okie dokie. Let me share my screen again. Let's get cracking. All right. We don't need the play around one for the time being. Okay, here we go. Now, this is video. Well, hey gang, Dr. J, Steve Jensen from the National Sales Academy and Impact Training. Now that video, Nigel's just jumped the gun on this one. A video can be put into your PowerPoint as easily as a picture. Oh yes. All you got to do is know where your videos are. Now that's one of the reasons a few weeks ago we started suggesting you maybe use Zoom or maybe QuickTime to create a little video. Now these videos are really easy to do. Remember, we'll do some video stuff as well, but remember we talk to the camera, we don't talk to the head, right? So usually if we're feeling very, very, let's say, rude, that we're not looking at somebody, but we are. If we're looking into the camera, you're looking into their eyes. This is one of the reasons why people fail online when they do sales, is that they don't look at the camera. They keep looking everywhere else. And also in a webinar, even if you're doing a webinar or in an interview with an interviewer could be sitting next to you on the screen here, like there, and you keep on looking down there, you just got to look at the customer or the audience. The video is a powerful tool, and people have been saying for about 2 years now, video is going to be important. Well, I cannot stress it enough. It's going to become more and more important in the next 6 months or more. But look, whether you're doing sales, whether you're doing coaching, whether you're doing training, it doesn't matter. You've got to get out there and get your word. People are going to get lazy. They don't like reading anymore. They want to hear it and see it and then go to next. So we've got to get good at getting video. Now in your PowerPoint presentation, now online's a little different. Sometimes there's a delay depending on how strong your internet connection is. But when you're actually presenting somebody, it does make a difference. So I'm going to show you how to insert a video. So let me go out of here, go into my, now by the way, when you share your PowerPoint, when you do if you're doing it as on a Zoom, always it will have share your screen, but it'll also have share your PowerPoint. So I want to make sure that you're really clear that when you've got your PowerPoint on, always click the button that says share your PowerPoint. All right, now let me get out of, well, I better stop sharing that and get it out. I'll get it onto my full screen again. All right, and I'll go back to sharing again. Here we go. Okay. Now, here's the video. Now, this is a video. I'm going to take this video out. Let me show you what I did. I'll make this a bit smaller. I always make my thumbs. You can make the thumbs bigger and smaller like that if you want to. Doesn't become too big. You can make your screen bigger and smaller if you want to with the little arrow down the bottom. See where it says zoom? You can make it bigger and smaller. All right. I have the thumbs there so I can scroll up and down to go to other things. Or if I want to go into a full-fledged look at the whole presentation, that's what it looks like. All right. So, and if I want to go back to it, just double-click the tile. You go back to your presentation. I'll do that again. If I want to look at the whole presentation, you click the four little squares. It shows you the whole presentation. You can scream up, you can delete things and so forth. When you want to go back to the tile that you're on, so you just pick, let's say I picked the one before, you double click it, it'll come straight back to that tile. I usually keep these a little bit smaller. They become too big, makes the other one harder to work on. That's just me. I usually get it around about screen size. There you go. I just took out that video of Jamie's. Let me show you what you need to do to put it back in. All right. Now, as I told you before, my videos, I don't keep on my computer. Now, this is important I tell you this because the videos are very large files. And if you put them on your computer, you're going to run out of memory. So make sure that you get a little hard drive. And I would suggest you buy a 2 terabytes. They're about $150 or whatever, or I think they're even cheaper these days. And save all of your videos on there. Okay, this is Jamie's stuff here. This is a video. Now, whether it's a Zoom video or whatever, it doesn't matter. Let's just have a look at this one here. Yeah. Here it is. They called it MPEG-4. So I'll just open it up again just to make sure that's the finished item. All you do, get that video and you drag it across. Whoops, let's make sure it drags. This is quite a large file, so it'll spin for about 30 seconds or so, and then it will pop in. You'll find that it's very simple, but there are some settings I'm going to show you before we finish today that's important when you put a video in. The reason is that you want to make sure that you're not trying to click the PowerPoint to make it go. What happens is when you go onto full screen in your PowerPoint, what you're going to find is that if you don't have it on automatic, you're going to have to click the video in the presentation, and that becomes really clumsy and awkward. So we want to make sure that your video will come on as soon as you click it. Now, as this is just loading because it's a very large file, I'll just show you how big it is. It's nearly 2 gigs. So you can imagine that sitting on your computer. Before you know it, the computer won't be working. So here it is. Just getting ready to put it in. Good old PowerPoint saying, gee, you're filling me up here. As you can see, it's taking a little bit of time. It's a very big file. 2 gigs is not small. So that will now go in there, and I'll just make it bigger or smaller and so forth. I'll show you how the other ones work in a moment. Now, you can actually do it with insert as well. Just insert any file, and you find it in your browser. I know where everything is, so I just go and click it and open it up and just drag it in. I find the drag is much easier because if you sometimes try to find it in the files, it takes a lot longer. I make my PowerPoints quickly, and then I spend a lot of time editing them. Okay, now we're in. Okay, and that's the whole screen. I don't want it to be the whole screen. I'll make it bigger. So you just get that corner, see the corner? Drag it down. Put it in the middle. We're good. How easy is that? Now, watch this. If I click the video, see I've got all of the lines on the outside. Can you see that? Now at the top here it actually says playback. Click that. See here? Click in sequence. This is really important. Right now, if I put that on, I'm going to show you on full screen. Watch. Watch this. Full screen. Oh, by the way, I always put a little asterisk in the corner there just to tell me a video is coming up, just so I don't forget. So I say, oh, I click it, and all of a sudden the video comes on. I'm in full flight. Oh, it's not working. Oh, so now I've got to go around and click the video. Now, if you want to do that, fine. I don't particularly want to, in my presentation, have to wander around, put the cursor everywhere and put it on there. Now, some people do. I don't. So my choice is not to do that. So what I do, go to playback, corner, automatically. Now that's going to come on as soon as the slide comes on. Let me show you. Little asterisk there. What does that say? Video coming. Oh, magic. Okay. Now I've got tons of videos, so we'll get rid of this one. Insert. I want to make sure that we're saying, well, hang on a tick. I want to make this really easy to insert. Insert tables and so forth. It's screenshots. I want to make sure we got media, video from a file. Now my files is a portable file. There's billions of videos. Now you can, which one am I going to put in there? Scroll through. Not get a big one. Let's have a look here. Easy one. Oh, these are tiny little ones. So all of a sudden, say, all right, well, don't want to be that big. Now, I'm going to ask you guys just to, if I want that to play automatically, I want someone to tell me what I need to do. Someone come off mute and tell me, I want that to play automatically because it's just sitting there at the moment. What do I need to do?
I know, Steve.
Tell me what
I listen to you. You press playback. Then you press in sequence. And then you press automatically.
Boom.
Yes. This is fun, Steve. You're amazing.
How good's that? Well done, mate. You ledge.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to go back. Oh, by the way, well, let's go back to Google. No, we're not going to do that. Video, chit chat, Camtasia, Screenflow. What's the asterisk mean? Video's coming. Oh. Hi there, Dr. J, Steve Jensen, National Sales Academy and Impact Training Corporation. I've got something exciting to tell you. So all of a sudden, now I've got my... I want to tell you about the Sales Authority. We've got our video impregnated. Now, you don't, by the way, when I put this normally in, this is just for the presentation today, what I normally would do would never have a video that small. I would always do this. Let me just show you. I'll just copy that one. Just that's a command on app. It's just Command C. I would stick it in here. Boom. And I'll make it the size of the whole screen. Yep. Go right over the side. Go back to there. Look, see what the little widget does for me. That looks pretty nifty. Now I'm good to go. So now it's a good size video. And I can make it look crummy. I think the bigger one looks better.
We're looking at your face, Steve, just to say no.
I was just about to say that too. Can't see what you're doing.
Bloody hell, silly Billy I am. So what I've done here is I've don't want to have that one there. So I'm going to make sure that, here we are, move that around. That's better. That's better. Even further. Yeah, there we go. So let's make it a bit bigger so you can see it. There we go. Make it bigger, bigger. Yeah. Okay, so by that size, it's crappy for a video. So what I did was a Command C or copy, and then I put it over here, and I just Command V. And I said, well, I wanted to make it bigger. So all you do is you make the video bigger. As long as it's the right resolution, you can stick it in the middle somewhere. The lines move around a bit and say, we're good to go. And then if you push your little widget on the right-hand side, design screen, it's looking good. As Nigel just told us, we want it to happen automatically. So that's clicked good to go. So when I go on to full screen, boom. Hi there, Dr. J, Steve Jensen. So, boom. All these little bits of stuff today. Don't want to go into overwhelm because we've got lots more to show you. It's not difficult to do. You now know how to change your font, get a first screen and a second screen. You can put in a picture or two. You know how to put a video in. You know how to get it to start automatically. We'll do a little bit of design stuff a little bit later on down the track. That was what I wanted to cover with you today, so you got something to bit of go back and just to play around with it. There's no rush, but the sooner we do it, the better. But last thing I want to show you, just to wrap up. Here we go. Boom. As I said to you earlier, and I just did it perfectly, I just did a screenshot of this. All of these things up the top here are very self-explanatory, guys, really self-explanatory. It's not difficult. You just have to have a go. And if you push a few buttons and it doesn't work, it's not going to break anything. It's quite intuitive, and it's become a lot better over the years. As we go through this little practice that we're going to do, I'm going to show you a couple of things which are really important, and I'm going to finish on this. The transition and the animations in the PowerPoint, you can actually have all these little things coming in and things coming out, little noises and so forth. Guys, less is best. Less text is best. Less is best. Not tons and tons and seas of words, unless it's scripts you've got to put up there. And what you then do is we'll chunk it. Something that I do on my PowerPoints, and some people like it, some people don't. I change the color of the text. I find it makes people see it more. It becomes more colorful, more interesting. Not a lot of words all the time, unless it's prompts and scripts. Once you've got your PowerPoint, your animations and your transitions are important. Limit the animations. Saw one animation today when you had the big lines go through the Google. I'm going to show you just the last thing I'm going to show you today. Okay, stop sharing screen. These are some tools we'll talk about another time called clickers. I'll be going click, click, click in a presentation on a webinar. It's also connected to the computer here, so I'm not doing this all the time. Just goes click, click, click. This is a Logitech, not expensive. I think it's I think they're about 50 bucks. I think if you buy it on Wish, it's about 30. This is one that I prefer. It's called a Keyspan. It allows a little bit more. It has more functions. This is what I use when I'm doing larger presentation, but I always have both plugged in. Yeah, just in case one fails. All right. Now, the last thing I'm going to show you is transitioning. Okay, let's get out of the big screen. Ripper dipper. Back to the screen. Lovely. See that all right? Is everyone all good for that? Is that all good? Yeah, sweet. Now, the way to get the transitions right, you can go up to here. There's lots of different transitions. A push transition, a swipe transition. That's what they look like. It's the changing of the slide to the next slide. You can do all these little things. This random bars are just pretty random. There's lots of them. There's not just one or two. There's a curly. This is a pretty nifty one. I use it sometimes. I also do the peel off one sometimes. Airplane, bit silly. Origami, dumb. Dissolve, pretty good. Fracture, bit dramatic. You just pick what you like. Stick with one. I use fade. Now the morph, some people like the morph and it goes, it just disappears. But I would suggest I just use fade. It just fades into the other one. Now the way to get them all done, watch. I go to the little 4 squares at the bottom, right? I'll click one of the tiles and go Command All. So you have all of them. So I just Command All. So it's like Function A, Command All. You just go up to the top here And I'm going to change it because it's all on fade at the moment. Let's do one that's a little bit different. Oh, let's do the paper curl. Now you'll see it will change on the screen. See, it's actually changing the transition. So when you click the button in your PowerPoint, it's just going to change the way it flips over. Now, some people like having different transitions. Guys, keep it simple. They're just flicking through, getting it all ready. And when it takes about 30 seconds, depending on how big your PowerPoint is, obviously. But it allows you then to have a smooth transition when you're on full screen. As I said, we're just doing some preliminary stuff today, but you will need to have, if you don't do a transition, it'll just be quite abrupt. It'll just flip, 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 just the next screen when it goes. It doesn't stop it, but this just makes it a little bit more comfortable to watch. As it going through the last part here, there's a thing here called animations. Animations is when it brings text in, brings text out. It can actually bring things in, arrives, and then it takes it out for you. They're pretty good. A lot of people have the text coming in stages. That's how it works. Again, I believe it less is best. I'll just show you how that works though. I think we're done with that. Yes, it's all finished. Let me just show you what it looks like now. So let's go into full screen. There you go. All right. On animations, I'll just go back down to that Google slide that I did earlier. Here it is. This has an animation in it. See, it says number 2 up the top there. It's an animation. I'll show how it worked. Don't use Google. Button. That's called an animation. Let's say we've got here, we just highlight that. I want to have that appear. So we just there we go. Where did that come from? There we go, mute. Okay, let me just see what I just did. It says number 2. This is one animation. This is number 2, number 3. Now I'm going to show you what happens. Watch. 1, 2, in it comes, number 3. Now let's say I don't want it to be number 3. I want it to be number 1. Let's go in the top right. See the corner here? Over here? You click that and I want it to move it up. 1, 2. Now it's number 1. So let's go back. Well, you'd never have the title animated, but I'm just showing it to you. Number 1, 2. That's animations. Now you could have text coming in differently. You say, oh, well, I'd like to have that text coming in. Let's just say, just arrives. Okay. So I just put shape. And you just play around with whatever you like. It's all done. You watch. There's the text. That's all right. That's called animations. Now, if you don't want to do those animations anymore, that's easy to do. You just go to the little cross there, boom, all gone. So if you ever want to find that little animation platter, it's just there. You just punch it up there. And we just say we want to do some animations. You just highlight. Oh, I might have an E there. You just highlight what you want to animate, like that. And there's a little bit more, there's a little bit silly stuff. This is stuff where I say it's just over the top. You can separate the colors. This goes bigger. Oh God. I'm not a fan. I know some people are. I'll just show what that looks like. You just muck around with it. Too much of that sort of stuff mucks up your presentation. All right, so that's called transitions, where you have it, you just go into the big lock, Command All, then you just click the one you like. As I said, I use fade, but you do whatever works well for you. You can click through there's lots of them, there's lots to play with. Right? And there's special effects too, double left, double right. So just muck around. You can't hurt it. And once it's gone through its transitions, you just go into full screen. Do you like it? Nah, it sucks or whatever. Just change it, Command All, change it back. And the last thing, as I just said, if I want to make sure that my animations are okay, well, this is just about the text. Really simple. All right. Find out what you like. This text is dropping in. See what it looks like. This sort of thing, a little bit tedious sometimes, but some people like them. Horses for courses. All right. So, all right. So, with that in mind, what I'd like you to do is a little bit of practice in creating a little PowerPoint. Yeah, just a little PowerPoint, just to muck around and have a bit of a play with a few things that will allow you to have some fun with it. Now, I'm not going to go back on full screen. I'm just going to talk you through this last part. Test runs. When you've done your PowerPoint, make sure that you go right back to the last part, put it on full, test run it. Test run it. You're going to test run this thing because you've got to make sure that it looks okay when it's going to go live. Okay? Now this is a little clicker I'm clicking. See? No hands. Oh, there's that bloody animation we put in there. Okay. Whoop, whoop, whoop. None of that. Animations, you know about that. We'll do a lot of stuff on Screenflow, another stage, and as a role play. Oh,
Hi there, Dr. J.
no, Nigel taught me how to make that automatic. And that one too.
Hi there.
We know what to do up there. We're all superstars. And the last thing I'm saying, we'll get a clicker later on down the track. Always save your work when you're finished. Now, you know how many times when I was a younger man, I wasn't saving as I went. Oh, always start saving the document as you go. And as you do it, a little bit more, a little bit of work, a video's gone in, save it. Because if you don't, you're like, oh my God, where did it go? And you think the gremlins have grabbed it. So I've had many gremlins in my computer in my younger days. Oh God, 3 hours of that is all gone. It's heartbreaking. So we'll be good to go. All right, before we go, I'm just going to go around the room. What was 3 things you learned, and what's one thing you're going to do with what we did today? Have a think about what's 3 things you learned, you found interesting or reminded of. You might have already known it, and one thing you're going to do in the next week. So we're going to start doing stuff. No good learning stuff without doing, as I said the other day when I had my black hat on. So have a think about it. What did you learn? 2 or 3 things, and what are you going to do in the next 7 days? So let's have a bit of a think about it. So what did you learn? And what are you going to do? Go to the bottom of the line here. I'll unmute Lloyd. Well, my man, what are 2 or 3 things you learned? And what's one thing you're going to do?
I learnt today, number 1, don't use internet images unless you're paying for them. 2, when playing with slides, use design ideas for a bit of, make it look pretty. And 3, automate your videos if you're going to play through your screens. What am I going to do in the next 7 days? I hope to review my sales pitch, elevator pitch.
Oh, good.
And some simple, you don't know USPs, and put it into a simple PowerPoint.
Love it. You can actually just have a bit of a play, and then later on get on a Screenflow or even and do a prezzo. That would be awesome. Great, Lloyd.
Thank you.
Terrific. Thank you. All right, who's going to be next? I'll Michelin. I'll get you to tell me. Unmute you. what was something you learned? Some things you learned. What are you going to do with it?
Okay. Well, I'm obviously going to start familiarizing myself with the PowerPoint. I've got to download a couple of video and audio things so I can create a video. I will be practicing my elevator pitch, and I want to create a video. The first one I'll be doing is the one for my own customers, and I'll be writing up the one for a new elevator pitch.
Terrific.
And checking it in with you and Lloyd.
Okay. Oh, no, role play buddy. That's awesome. I'm just so glad that you guys connected. That was well done. Right on the money. Congratulations. Thank you. That's great. Well done. All right. Where are we going to go? Top or bottom? Nigel, what are we going to do? Is he still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Oh, terrific. What are you going to do, mate? 3 things you learnt. What are you going to do?
Well, I learned everything, mate, because I've never even looked at a PowerPoint before. So there you go.
Quick as a whip.
I learned the computer's probably not as frightening as I thought. So that's a good start.
That's great.
It's nice to learn new stuff. So, open my mind up to learning, which I've really, this week's been really good for that. And I've got to that point, with all this shit where I've decided I want to learn more stuff. So that's good. Not just from today, but overall. From a business point of view, I'm just, I think I'm just happy that I know I can do this as part of it, and it will add value. So I was thinking while we're doing it, I'd add something like this to a presentation to the elderly at a retirement village or something like that. This could be really valuable to make me look more professional. I already get that value when I'm at a golf club, but this could certainly add a lot of value from that point of view to a group that doesn't understand me as a professional sportsman. So that's good.
Well done.
Yeah. So that's it. All good, mate.
Well done. There she is at the top of the tree. Unmute Michelle. Where see you? Unmute her. I'll unmute you. Turn it on. Unmute you. There we go. Unmute audio. There you go. Should be on now.
There you go. Okay.
2 or 3 things you learned and 1 thing you're going to do.
Yeah. So I've never done PowerPoint in my life. So I didn't even know it existed on the computer until I went, do I even have PowerPoint? And there it was, like magic. I'm a bit like Nigel. There's a lot of fear around computers and all this new stuff, but it's really exciting learning new. And it was interesting that Nigel said what he just said, because I was saying to you the other day, it'd be really great to do this kind of thing with retirement villages. Do you remember the other day, Steve? Anyway, so I really want to just practice, because that's the only way I'm going to learn. So I need to just practice PowerPoint. I also want to start doing a little bit more video footage, so learning how to then put it onto the PowerPoint. And then Sandra, my little role-playing buddy, I'll get her onto it as well. She's a whiz with PowerPoint. She doesn't need this lesson. But we can maybe do a little, get a little webinar type thing going, or the PowerPoint, and just do a little role-play to and fro, just to get that feeling a bit more professional before we go out in the big wide world.
Boom. Love it. Great. Well done. All right, gang. I'll just mute you all now before we wrap it up. Well, that was a bit of fun, a little bit different. These role play fun plays, a little bit of fun, but also some useful stuff that we'll keep adding. I know it's not just sales specific, but it is sales specific, if you get what I mean. I'm sure you can see the connotation we can use a little bit later. All right. Well, look, went a lot longer than I thought, so I'm sorry, but hopefully you found it interesting and also useful. Now, I'd really appreciate it if you just go into the SAC and tell some people what you learned, and that if you enjoyed it, because if we get everyone in the SAC, it'll be like we'll have Piccadilly Circus. That'll be awesome. So if you go in there, just type something like you did last time. Really appreciated that. And then we'll kick some goals. And tomorrow is 5 o'clock Sydney time for our social. So if you'd like to join up. We just talk nonsense and have a cup of tea. Sometimes, I mean, Michelle wore 4 hats. I mean, my goodness, you're a legend. All right. It's been a fun week so far. All you guys have been terrific, and up onwards and upwards. I think there's a shift taking place. I can feel it. So everywhere. So thanks for joining me today. I really appreciate it. And if you write something in the sack, that will be awesome. All right. I'll do a bit of editing and I'll stick this back in if you want to watch it again. All right. Bye-bye now.